Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blaine Elizabeth and today we are going to be talking about the stages of change. Again, my name is Blaine Elizabeth and I have two lenses at which I look at addiction. I am a person in long-time recovery, which means I've struggled with substances myself. And also, I have a master's in social work and currently practice substance abuse therapy. All right, so let's take a deep dive into the stages of change and how they pertain to addiction. The first stage we're going to be talking about today is pre-contemplation. This is when you're not really sure if you're considering change. You might be drinking every weekend and blacking out, but you're chalking it up to normal behavior. All young people drink. That's why I'm drinking. You might be hitting the crack pipe, only spending $60 a week and thinking, oh, it's not that bad yet. I didn't lose my house. I didn't lose my kids. I didn't lose my car. If I were doing therapy with a person that was in the pre-contemplation stage of change, I would validate their lack of readiness. I would repeat what they are saying to me. I would use motivational interviewing to develop discrepancy between their behaviors and their current goals. I would then clarify that the decision is theirs. I am not going to make any decision for anybody because we all know that addiction is a personal journey. What I like to tell families when a person with a substance abuse issue is in this stage of change, I like to remind families that you can't love them enough. You cannot yell at them enough. You cannot discipline them enough. They can't go to jail enough times. They will not change until they're ready to change. I'm taking long dramatic pauses because this is a serious thing. I hear it all the time with family members. Why can't they just change? What did I do wrong? Nope. Not the family's fault. Not the family's problem. It's that person's problem. And until that person is ready to change, they won't. And that's the damn honest truth, okay? Woo! I hit you with some hard shit right there. All right, the second stage of change that we are going to be talking about today is contemplation. So you're out of the pre-contemplation phase and you've moved into contemplation. This stage would be sitting on the fence. You're thinking about it. At this stage of change, I might have the client make a list of pros and cons of their current behavior. What are the benefits of drinking? Are you enjoying it still? How much money are you spending on it a month? What are the cons? Has anything negative happened? Have you lost your driver's license? Have you gone to jail? Is this affecting your daily life? Has your friends or family brought up that, hey, you might have a problem? Again, I'm going to clarify that the decision is theirs. I am not going to make or force anybody to go to treatment or to make any changes. In this stage of change, I would also talk about harm reduction techniques. If they're not considering quitting, harm reduction is a great way to educate people and encouraging people to never use alone. The most important thing to know about the contemplation stage is they've acknowledged a problem. They're kind of thinking about it. They're thinking about going to treatment, but not within the next month. It's going to be 6 months down the road because their problem isn't that bad yet. All right, you guys, the third stage of change that we are going to talk about today is called preparation. At this phase, they are ready to act like within 3 weeks to a month. They're preparing. They might be making phone calls. They might be asking questions. Well, if I went to treatment, how long would that be? What would that look like? What different treatment centers are available for me? As a therapist, I may encourage small steps, encourage the client to make phone calls, identify social supports that are positive in their life. I would also help the client in identifying problems and helping them problem solve, identifying goals that they have, seeing if their current goals line up with their current behavior. Hey, you said you're going out and drinking every single weekend or on Thursdays too, so now you're drinking 4 days a week and you want to get a college degree. Tell me how that looks. How does alcohol fit into your journey of getting your degree? What kind of help do you need? Do you need to detox? Are you having physical withdrawal symptoms? Or do you just need to start going to outpatient treatment? As a therapist working with this person who's in the preparation stage of change, I would also verify and validate that that person has the skills, has the necessary skills to get sober, to get clean. I would validate that that client can do it. And then I would also help initiate small steps towards change. The fourth stage of change is going to be action. So the action stage of change is when somebody actually goes to treatment. They pack up their stuff. They're in the car. They're on their way there. They're entering into treatment. They're taking action. This would be the first 3 to 6 months of sobriety would be called the action phase. As a therapist, I would help the client focus on restructuring ideals, identities, helping the client focus on their social support and restructuring their habits, changing people, places, things, changing your playground, your playmates, your playthings. I would also acknowledge that there is a grieving process that happens when you quit your most important coping skill. We would work on combating that feeling of loss, and we would work on increasing new positive coping skills. The last thing I would do for someone in the action stage of change is reiterate those long-term benefits of being clean and sober, those physical benefits, those mental benefits, the less stress, the less overwhelm. All of those things will decrease. All right, now the last stage of change in this 5 stages of change model is called maintenance. Maintenance is when you're 6 months to 5 years sober. In the maintenance stage of change, you have made a commitment to maintaining this newfound behavior. As a therapist working with someone who is in the maintenance stage of change, I would plan follow-up visits or aftercare planning for this client, may even talk about discharge depending on where they're at mentally and with their mental health. I would also be reinforcing all of the natural rewards that are coming with this new behavior. As a therapist working with someone in the maintenance stage of change, I would also be discussing internal coping skills that they're already using and reinforcing them. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video. That was the 5 stages of change. I'm going to go over them one more time pretty quickly. The very first stage of change is pre-contemplation. Pre-contemplation is not yet acknowledging that there's a problem behavior that needs to be changed. So you're using heroin, but you're not quite sure that it's a problem yet. You're like, oh, I can use heroin and be normal. I'm a functioning addict. Contemplation, acknowledging that there's a problem, but not quite sure you're ready to do something about it yet. Preparation, getting ready to make a change. Action, actually changing that behavior, putting in the action that you need to put in to change that behavior. Maintenance, maintaining the changed behavior. There is an extra stage of change that some people go through that struggle with substance use. That would be relapse. Abandoning the new behavior for your old problematic behaviors. If I was working with someone who has recently relapsed, who had 6 months to 5 years clean, I would work with them to evaluate what their triggers were that led up to that relapse. Then we would start all over again, plan some new coping strategies, and reassess where they're at in the stages of change. I want everyone to have a safe weekend out there. Be safe, have fun, drink your water, take care of your body, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey. My cat. Wanna be in the video?